Hello and welcome back, Quality Shot Tennis. Today we've got the final in Acapulco between Davidovich Fokina and Tomas MACHAC. Fokina trying to get his first title of his career against Tomas MACHAC, who's been an absolute killer on the tour for the last 12 months or so. Welcome in, everybody, to this one. I'm excited. Should be a fun one. Should definitely be a fun one here. I believe that this is Tomas MACHAC's. What did I see? I believe that was his first 500 final, I think. Let me confirm on that. Yeah, it's his first 500 final of his career, second final of his career, period. So MACHAC also MACHAC also looking for the first title of his career. One of these great players is going to win the very first title of their careers. These are not two players that I would think of the standard or quality of play that they have. I would think is above somebody who has 0 titles. So, yeah, it should be fun. Should be interesting. They're both currently warming up. So, Tomas MACHAC at 25th in the world. Davidovich Fokina, I believe, has been as high as 21st in the world. He, of course, got to the final of a Masters 1000 a few years ago, lost to Tsitsipas in Monte Carlo. I believe that was in 2022, I'd like to say, if I'm not mistaken on the year. Definitely in Monte Carlo. All right, let me go down to the score as we get started here in these proceedings. Let me know your predictions in the chat. I'm going to go with Davidovich Fokina. He played unbelievable to end his match against Denis Shapovalov. It's also remarkably impressive after one of the most heartbreaking losses I've seen in tennis. Fokina not being able to grab his first title of his career. I'm sure he was. I mean, I'm not sure that he knows that at some point he's going to get a title. Like after a loss like that, he must have been thinking, "Man, am I ever going to win one of these?" Especially having 2 championship points on Kecmanovic, and really the very first one of those, the first championship point he had he was in a very advantageous position. And he really could have won that rally. But anyway, he's back in the final, which I think is impressive. And yeah, the second tiebreaker he played against Denis Shapovalov in the last match, he was up 6-0. He breadstick Chapo. He was playing unbelievable. Just winner after winner, just ridiculous. He was in the zone. Best I've ever seen Fokina play. So, especially on a hard court. So, yeah, I'm going to give it to Fokina in straight sets. I'm giving it to Fokina in straight sets, maybe 3 sets, but I'm going to say straight sets. Let me know your predictions. But yeah, Fokina was unreal. I didn't know he could play that well, to be honest. I mean, I know he's one of the most talented players on tour, but I've really never seen him hit balls like that. It was kind of like Verdasco versus Rafa in the 4th set of the Australian Open back in 2009, or I don't know. I'm trying to think of other just absolutely in the zone tiebreakers, but it was definitely an absolute just like rut of a tiebreaker just because of how well Fokina played. Sinner winning 7-0 tiebreaker versus Alcaraz US Open 2022 as another example of that kind of a thing, but just ran away with it. Let me know. Have you guys been watching a lot of tennis this week? I've been kind of on and off. Been watching a little bit, but then it's been super busy. But I'm going to have spring break starting up this next week. So this next week I should be able to watch a lot of tennis. And yeah, we have Indian Wells coming up, which is very fun. Forehand inside out, backhand of Fokina goes to the backhand slice of MACHAC. That's in the net. 2 of the most dynamic players on tour. This should be a fun one to watch. 2 of the most dynamic players on tour, no doubt about it. Very athletic players. Very athletic players. I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of dynamic rallies and exchanges. MACHAC's game, though, sometimes is very up or down. Fokina's level really, I mean, his mental side is really his biggest weakness. And really his level seems to differ week to week. This week it's very good, but is his mental side going to kind of get the best of him in a final? Judging from historic patterns, that seems like it could be the case, but we'll see. Both these guys, two great talents. I reckon Fokina is going to get it done. Fokina's got to feel pretty good that he's playing against somebody who's also never picked up a title. And unlike Fokina, who was in one last week, MACHAC has never been in a hard court final, so that's something else too. At ATP level. Backhand goes into the crowd, 30-15 for Davidovich Fokina. Serve from the Spaniard. Goes to the forehand of MACHAC. Backhand Fokina. Goes to the backhand of MACHAC. Down the line. That goes out. 40-15. Serve here from ADF. Out wide. That's going to be out. Backhand goes to the backhand of Fokina. Forehand of MACHAC. Cross court goes out. 1-1. 1-1. Let's look at the head-to-head between these two players. It's good to see both these guys in winning ways because I do think these are two of the most fun players to watch on tour. I hope that that they can crack the top 20, top 15. They're great players to see at the top of the tour. So they played last year in Shanghai, and MACHAC won 6-4 in the third, 1-6, 7-6, 6-4. So yeah, that seems like a. I didn't watch that match, but that seems like a occasion where the mental side was very important. If MACHAC lost first on the breadstick, and then was able to kind of fight it out in a tiebreaker, and then in a tight third set, coming back from behind. Good serving from MACHAC as he draws an error from Fokina. But yeah, we've got Indian Wells on the way. Qualifying currently going on for IW in California for Indian Wells. MACHAC last week lost to Shapovalov, who Fokina was able to beat this week. And I can tell you the players that MACHAC beat this week. MACHAC so far this week has beaten Jakub Mensik, Altmaier, Lerner Tien, and Nakashima. So very good draw, to be fair, for MACHAC. Fokina's arguably come through higher ranked players on route. I mean, he has come through higher ranked players on route. Fokina's opponent so far in this tournament. I will let you know on that. So far, it's been Matai Bellucci, Tiafo, Paquecho Mendez, and Shapovalov. So, yeah. I would argue that Fokina's draw has been a little bit tougher for a 500 draw. Both of their draws to this point have been kind of weird, but this is what it is. 3 sets. How's it going, Gabriel? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible, right? There's no clear favorite here. I really like the level that Fokina was showing in the end of his semifinal match, and Chapo's been playing really well. So I don't know. I think there's no clear favorite. 3 sets is definitely quite possible. Let's see what happens. Gabriel, is there a player that you're rooting for from these two? Let me know. Do you have a favorite out of Fokina and MACHAC? Forehand goes to the forehand of Fokina. Backhand MACHAC slice. Lob. That goes long. Floats long, so 15 love. My prediction earlier was Fokina in 2 sets, so we'll see if that happens. Big part of that guess was how well Fokina's been playing throughout the tournament, really. I mean, he saved a couple match points versus Matai Bellucci. Since then, when you save match points, it really helps your confidence. You start to feel like you have nothing to lose. It takes the pressure and weight off your shoulders because you're like, man, I should have been out of this tournament. But or I could have been, and had I just hit one shot a little bit differently, and literally that's it. And then yeah, I don't know. I reckon that helps players out. And since then, I mean, Fokina's been playing better and better and better. Last match against Chapo, he was playing unbelievable. I mean, in the last match, Fokina was playing like a top 10 or top 5 player. So, I don't know. I would not want to. If I was the coach of MACHAC, I wouldn't even show MACHAC those highlights because I wouldn't want to scare him off with GOAT level Fokina in that second set tiebreaker versus Chapo. I'd just be like, all right, just do what you can on your side. Wild double fault from Fokina gets us to 40-15. So far, it's been pretty much on serve in early proceedings. For Indian Wells, Alcaraz got to be the favorite, right? I don't even know, like, I don't even know who is going to predict Alcaraz not to win. You know what I mean? I mean, even if Sinner was in the draw, but especially that Sinner's not in the draw, it's like, I don't know, man. Alcaraz is so, he's just goated at Indian Wells. Like, he plays like a mix of Laver and Federer and Djokovic at Indian Wells. He is unreal at Indian Wells. Obviously exaggerating just a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll wait for the draw that's going to come out. It's going to come out in I guess like 36 hours, something like that. But I just can't even think like I don't know. Zverev doesn't play that great at Indian Wells. I mean, Fritz plays well at Indian Wells, but are you going to really pick him over Alcaraz? I mean, if somebody beats Alcaraz, sometimes he's a little inconsistent, you know? If somebody can beat Alcaraz, then maybe Fritz can find a way through. But also, it's like Fritz is inconsistent this year so far a little bit. So I would not bet on it, although Fritz also plays quite well at Indian Wells, like I said. But forehand goes long from Fokina, so MACHAC gets the 30 love. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to think of anybody but Alcaraz winning that. Casper's not going to win. Medvedev's not going to win. Is Novak even playing? I don't even remember. He's just playing Miami, right? I don't think he's playing Indian Wells. What's Djokovic's schedule? Or is he missing both? Oh, okay, he is playing. So Djokovic is playing Indian Wells, but he hasn't like played in forever. He's been injured and stuff. So I don't know, man. I don't think Djokovic is gonna win. You never know. Tommy Paul is somebody to mention, but I don't know. A lot of these guys, I just don't know. Like Alcaraz is so well suited for these conditions, and just like I don't know, nobody else really is somebody that I'm that excited about. Obviously, you got to mention Novak because Novak won that tournament many a times, but I don't know. Last year lost to Luca Nardi, so backhand that's in the net. I mean, Alcaraz is such a favorite for that. He's such a favorite for that. He did lose that match. Who was it against? I'm trying to remember now. Who did he lose to? He was up like 4-1 in the third set or whatever. But I mean, he also won a title, which was pretty exciting earlier this year in Rotterdam. Who did he lose to? What match am I thinking of? I do not remember. But Alcaraz was up. Oh yeah, against Yuri Lehechka. It's up in Doha. But I don't know. Conditions are different. If you take Lehechka versus Alcaraz in Indian Wells, it's going to be different. I mean, Lehechka beat Rublev in Indian Wells last year, but beating Alcaraz in Indian Wells has got to be so tough. Yeah, I was going, Sean. How are you doing? Tsitsipas, Shapo, and FA are all playing well. What year is this again? Good point. It's nice though. It's good to see. I mean, it's great to see. I'm excited about. Well, first of all, one-handed backhand, right? Felix doesn't have a one-handed backhand, but Shapo and Steph, yeah, it's exciting. I mean, Steph is just getting prepped up to win another Monte Carlo, and then he's gonna dip again. But like he's gonna win Monte Carlo and then dive out in the third round of Madrid, and we're never gonna hear of him for the rest of the year, except for like a couple random quarters and semis. No, I'm just joking. I actually hope that's not the case. And he was playing really well in Dubai. And won his first ATP 500, even though he's already won some 1,000 tournaments. But yeah, I mean, Shapo, awesome. I really think Shapovalov can return back to the top 20 in the world. Felix could be in the top 10 if he stays at his best level all year. He's already done that. Been in the top 10 year end. He's been number 6. So, yeah, I hope that keeps going. I really want Steph to do well at the French Open. I would really like to see that. And I'm not the biggest Steph, fan around, I guess, but like I gotta give props due to props where props are due for like really good tennis players. And Steph can really play some impressive tennis. And I would be a little bit sad if he never won a slam on a clay court. Just as somebody who appreciates good tennis, I would be a little bit upset if Steph never won a slam on a clay court. Same thing goes for Casper Ruud. I mean, look at Sebastian Baez. Man's won 7 clay titles. He's got to win one. Sebastian Baez, French Open champion this year. Nobody's ready. Looking for his 8th title. Going under the covers or whatever, undercover, or that's not the right way of saying it. He's underrated. Nobody is looking at him, but he's gonna win. He's gonna win the French. Joking, but Alcaraz seems like a big favorite for both the French and for Indian Wells. We'll see what happens though. I mean, I guess Sinner is going to be back for the French and for Rome. Almost a ridiculous shot from Tomas Machac. Scared the crap out of Fokina, I think. He had this like 360 lob on defense, and it missed by like an inch, or I don't know. It may be a little bit more than that, but it was very close for a shot that was almost weird, like crazy that he got a racket on it. Forehand Fokina goes to the backhand of Machac. Very short in the court. Forehand Machac also short in the court. Fokina attacks it, but hits it long, 30-all. Mahac's got to fix the depth of shot, but it does draw an error from Fokina, who, I don't know, both these guys can sometimes be up or down. I mean, both when they're up, they're very much up, but sometimes they can go off the rails for both of them, unfortunately. Forehand down the line. Very good. Great shot from Davidovich Fokina. 40-30. Important game to get out of for Fokina early on here. It feels like from the back of the court, Fokina's definitely not mad at the backcourt exchanges so far. And they are both holding pretty solid behind their serves. Serve from Fokina. Misses the first serve. Second serve. Backhand MACHAC goes to the backhand of FOKINA. Forehand of MACHAC goes to the forehand of FOKINA. Down the line. Very good shot from FOKINA with the explosive forehand. That forehand's been a rocket. People are talking about Steph's forehand in Dubai. FOKINA's forehand over in Acapulco has been fantastic as well. Sean, I'd like to see Steph get to the final of the French, Chapo get to the final of Wimbledon, and Felix get to the final of the U.S. Open. I think that would be great. Chapo at Wimbledon. Chapo can play some really good tennis on grass courts. Felix can too, by the way, but recently it hasn't been the case. But Chapo, I don't know. I like him on grass. I've always had a good feeling about him on grass, and he's made a Wimbledon semi before. So I don't think it would be a shock to me if he makes another one. When Shapovalov's on, he's on, and that serve's been very good. I want to see it. Nothing major happening yet in this one. 30 love for MACHAC on his serve. Very central serve, attacked rightfully so by FOKINA. Forehand of MACHAC, we're back neutral. Backhand of MACHAC, big to the backhand of FOKINA. Forehand of MACHAC, big swing. Swung through the court, gets him to 40 love, Tomas MACHAC. Great kind of defense to offense there. FOKINA kind of let him off the hook. He had the advantage immediately, and he hit it right back to the Czech's forehand instead of the backhand, and that kind of let him off the hook, but maybe didn't get quite as much pace to that forehand as he would have wanted, FOKINA, and it kind of made the rally go back to neutral before MACHAC hit the fatal blow with his forehand. Backhand cross, misses the sideline. 4-3 for Tomas MACHAC, but we are on serve. Yeah, that would be pretty amazing. Which would be the most likely? It's a good question, right? What would be the most likely? Chapo, Wimbledon, Felix, U.S. Open. Who's the other one? Tsitsipas at the French. It's a good question. Tsitsipas at the French, right? I think it would be Steph at the French. I wouldn't have said that before this week. Before this week, I maybe would have said Chapo at Wimbledon, to be honest. I'd probably would have said that, but that's just because of Steph's level. But now that Steph had this week in Dubai, I wouldn't be that shocked, because I mean, Steph won Monte Carlo last year. He's definitely had more success at big tournaments than Chapo or Felix. Between Chapo and Felix, they've only reached one Masters final. No, that's not right. Felix has reached one now too in Madrid. Really weird final run there from Felix, but I guess it is technically a run to the final. Barely. But two Masters finals between the two, and I don't know. I mean, Felix has been good at slams, I guess. Pretty good at slams. And I don't know. I mean, any of those could happen, but I'd have to go with Steph, right? I mean, Steph's been world number 3. Chapo and Felix cannot say the same. But I wouldn't be that shocked at anything from at any of those happening. I mean, we had Kyrgios getting to the Wimbledon final in 2022. Berrettini got to the final. So I don't know. Wimbledon's one of those tournaments, but it's going to be tough, though. I mean, Sinner and Alcaraz are so tough to beat. I mean, Chapo is either going to have to beat Sinner or Alcaraz, or he's going to have to beat the guy who beat Sinner or Alcaraz, or beat the guy who beat the guy who beat Sinner or Alcaraz, et cetera, et cetera. And that is not going to be easy to do. So I think a Sinner Alcaraz Wimbledon final is very likely. But we'll see. I mean, Sinner lost to Medvedev last year. Sinner could lose to somebody, especially if he's not in form right after he comes back from his suspension, but he is still practicing, not at ATP official courts, but he is going to be practicing. And yeah, he's gonna have Rome, Roland Garros. And yeah, I mean, I like him on grass. Grass, I mean, you have time to practice on grass during the grass swing. It's not that long, but you do have time. So I don't know. Big forehand from Fokina, 40 love. Some quick holds for either player. Is there any chance it will take Sinner a long time to get back his form after the break? Yeah, it's certainly possible, which is what I was just talking about. But you asked the question first, to be fair. Yes, it is. I don't expect it to be the case. The biggest reason I say that is that Sinner has been very good at performing well with his level to a surprising degree, despite everything that's been going on off court to this point. So the biggest reason I would expect him not to perform well is not because of time off, but because of the case. But because he's dealt with the case so well so far, I would expect that he's going to keep performing well. And then in terms of the time off from playing the main events, I don't think it's going to take him that long to get back into the swing of things. Like, I'm sure there's still pros that he can practice with. And then also, like, I don't know, I'd be surprised. I mean, he's got a couple of events in Rome and Roland Garros to warm up, and then Halle and whatever else. He's got some events to warm up before Wimbledon. And then, yeah, in terms of Roland Garros, I mean, yeah, he might be a little bit rusty. It is different to do real intense matches as opposed to just practice, but I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Was there a point where Sinner like took time off and jumped to a high level right away, or am I? I feel like that happened at some point, but either way, I just feel like Sinner's gonna get to work. I don't. There's certainly a chance, but I don't think it's a high one. 40-30, and MACHAC has a second serve to work with here. Forehand to MACHAC, down the middle, forehand to Fokina. Goes to the back of the MACHAC. We're in a neutral rally. Oh, luck for Davidovich Fokina. Luck for Davidovich Fokina. The same net that helped Kecmanovic's volley on championship point get to the other side last week. Well, not the same net, but this net is now giving some luck to Fokina. 4-all. As Fokina continues his journey to try to get an ATP title. But the same thing can be said about his opponent. It's funny, MACHAC in the other tournament that he reached the final beat Djokovic on the way there. This tournament, his opponents have been so crazy. Like, they're so crazy. This is not a regular route to a 500 final. I mentioned it earlier, but I just thought it was funny. Menzik, Altmaier, Tien, and Nakashima. That's like barely a route to 250 final. I mean, all those are great players. Menzik, I think Menzik could be a future world number one, to be honest. Altmaier is great and very dangerous. Tien is clearly somebody to watch out for big time in the future. Beats Zverev and Medvedev. And Nakashima is underrated, but got a good serve. He's got a good head on his shoulders. Got a lot of good things. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that's very funny. Beat Djokovic for his first one, and this route has been the opposite. Love 15 Fokina. Gonna try to pounce here. Great back in return. MACHAC goes back cross court, and Fokina had the backhand, and he missed in the net. He didn't have to go for that much. That's Fokina's problem, or it was last week in the final versus Miomir Kecmanovic. Like, he's got the advantageous position. Just don't go for quite that much. He maybe mishit that a little bit. But, yeah, not the ideal shot from Fokina. He was in control there. Serve MACHAC is an ace down the tee. 30-15 for the Czech. $30-15 for the Czech. serve out wide. That's going to be too good. 40-15. 40-15. 4-all, 40-15. But yeah, I mean, Miami is open now. I mean, Sinner was such a clear favorite in Miami. I thought he was even more of a clear favorite than Alcaraz was in Indian Wells, and that says a lot. Both, well, I don't know. I mean, both of them seem like utterly clear favorites. Big serve out wide, 5-4. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, now Miami is pretty open. I mean, a lot of players can win it. Alcaraz definitely could win a second one. But it's pretty open. Indian Wells does not feel that way at all to me. I guess the big reason for what I just said is Alcaraz likes the high bouncing courts of Indian Wells much more than he likes Miami courts. I'll try to have an analysis on this match, by the way, as well as potentially the Steph versus Felix match in Dubai on the New Tennis Era podcast. I might also preview the Indian Wells draw or Indian Wells a little bit. I'll try to do an Indian Wells draw prediction as well. Golden State Warriors down 109 to 101, 102. I need Steph Curry to clutch it up. Seems like nobody else on the State Warriors team wants to step up at all. It's crazy. If Curry had more help on his team, then he could. I mean, it would be it would be such a nightmare of a team. He could already have had even more titles than he already has. But anyway, it's like Luka and LeBron together. It's just like Curry needs more help. I mean, he got Jimmy Butler, which is great. But yeah, I don't know. It was tough to watch before I started watching this final. It's just like nobody's helping Curry out. Not even the refs are. Forehand of Fokina. Backhand down the line is big and calibrated to perfection from the Tomas Machac machine. 30-15. That backhand was a beauty. Hell of a shot from Machac. Still 30-15 though. No break points yet in this match. Couple 40-30 games, 30 alls, but nothing too crazy, really. Nothing that major has happened so far, honestly. But here we go, 30 all. This is the most major thing yet. 30 all. Machac 2 points away from the set. Looking to grab his first ATP title and deny Fokina his first ATP title. 27 degrees Celsius in Acapulco. That is the court conditions they're playing on. Back into Machac goes to the forehand of Fokina. 30 all here. Ooh. Machac a little bit wild with that forehand. Misses it wide. 40-30. Probably would want that one back. He went for it. Mahac's forehand always looks a little bit awkward to me. Just the way he hits the ball, but tends to work sometimes, so I don't know. The form on player shots can be a little bit deceiving because they can I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't be able to play with that form of shot, but they're hitting pretty good shots despite it. Backhand slice. Machac goes to the forehand of Fokina. Inside out. Backhand slice. Machac very short. Fokina attacks it for 5-5. There you go. Great stuff from Fokina to get a hold. 40-30 translates to 5-5. And MACHAC to serve now. With a little bit of momentum from Fokina with that big forehand strike, getting out of trouble. Just a little bit of momentum. 5-5. 33 minutes of play so far. And yet again, nothing too crazy or major so far. But this is the part of the match where definitely major things will happen no matter what. This is the part of the match where every big point gets a little bit bigger. Every point gets a little bit bigger. It's a let from MACHAC. Serve down T, back into Fokina, way up high, forehand to MACHAC, goes in cross court. 15 love. Back and down the line is a big strike from the Czech. Good ball striking. Level seems to only be getting higher. That was a fantastically struck backhand. Right, exactly what the doctor ordered from the Czech. An injection of pace. Strong left hand, backhand, right down that line. Good stuff. Serve out wide. Good stuff again from Tomas. 40 love. Serve down T. Quick service game, a la Roger Federer, just right to the line, hit an ace, get the service game done in less than a minute and a half. Maybe less than a minute. I don't know. I don't know how long it was exactly. Probably like a minute, 20, minute 30, but very short game for MACHAC. Gets a 6-5. Let me know, guys. What do you think is Tomas MACHAC's ceiling? What is the biggest thing MACHAC is going to do in his career? Big upset over top player out of Slam. Is he going to win a 250 title? Is he going to win a 500 title? Is he going to win 1,000? Is he going to get to the quarterfinals of a Slam, semifinals, final of a Slam? What's his big crowning achievement of his career going to be? Let me know. I really don't know. I think it's going to be the final of a Masters, or he could even win a Masters, but I don't know. He's talented. How old is he though? He's like, well, he's pretty young actually. Yeah, he's like my age. He's 24. Very hard to predict. I'll say he gets to the final of a Masters. I don't know which one. I'll say he gets to the final of a Masters. Maybe like Canada or something. Maybe like Canada. Who knows? I think that's certainly possible. By the way, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to Quality Shot Tennis if you haven't already. And please don't forget to like the video as well if you are enjoying it. Serve here from the Spaniard now with his signature headband look. Always looks like an anime character to me, who's always randomly falling on the court. Loves cats. That's Davidovich Fokina for you, trying to get his first ATP title. Playing against Tomas MACHAC. Forehand cross. Somehow stays in. That's a hell of a forehand from Fokina. Jumping up to meet the ball, which was very loopy and high and right on the sideline. But Fokina met it nicely and slammed it down the line. Just beautifully struck. Swung right down on the ball like an overhead, but as a forehand. 15 love. Every single service game just about has started off with the server like in a good rhythm and flow. Like they've won, the server has won the first 1 or 2 points of almost every service game. I could be forgetting one, but I think every single one, but maybe one game the server has won at least the first point. At 4-4, Fokina won the first point. I remember that. I don't know. I haven't really been tracking it that specifically, but it seems like the servers are starting off every game with the first few points, which is kind of wild. Back in MACHAC goes to the forehand of Fokina. Back into MACHAC. It's going to go out. 40 love. It seems like we're going to go to a tiebreaker. And yeah, it's pretty expected and unsurprising. Fokina looking for at least his third straight tiebreaker. Yeah, third straight tiebreaker for Fokina. And it would be his 5th of the tournament. He's 2-2. He lost his first 2 of the tournament. He's won his last 2 consecutive versus Chapo. Those were the 2 sets in that match. Back and cross goes to the backhand. It's a drop shot from MACHAC. MACHAC is getting too many. There's too many times that MACHAC is winning points on Fokina service games, but he's doing it from down 40 love. Like, I think there's already been 2 games where MACHAC gets to 40-30, but he does it after being down 40 love. Like, it's just, it's too late. And part of it might be to do with Fokina not finishing off the game, but I don't know. Something I've noticed. Forehand cross goes to the forehand of Fokina. It's an absolute mess of the forehand. He's got to put this game away 40-30. Game's not going to go to sleep by itself. He's got to put it to bed. Sing it a lullaby. Sing it a good lullaby and put it to bed. 40-30. 40 minutes into this one. Fokina bouncing the ball. Knows the importance of this point. Does not want to get it to deuce. Definitely does not want to get it to deuce. First serve is a let. Even more time to think about the moment. Still got game point. Serve out wide, back into MACHAC. Oh, it's a drop shot. It's a not good one in the net. He was in control of the point. No reason to hit a drop shot that position. I mean, Fokina is a frustrating player to watch because it's the mental side, man. He's such a strong player, but just strategically, his mind goes off the rails in the big points. This is what it is, right? Deuce, 2 points away yet again, MACHAC. Fokina trying to get to a tiebreaker. It's a good serve from Fokina, draws the error from MACHAC. Advantage to Fokina. Can he finally put this game away? Serve down T4 and a MACHAC goes back into Fokina. I just don't. He doesn't need to go for it like that. Like just kind of. He just needs to go 10% less on some of these shots, and he's got it. 5-6 deuce. Get the feeling that MACHAC is a bit sneaky here. If he could just draw a set point, it could get dangerous, but he can't. Hits that back and out. Advantage to Davidovich Fokina. Look at the stats after this going into the tiebreaker. If that is where we're going, no matter what, I will look at the stats after this point. Just kind of get the numbers for what we're seeing. The eye test is better than stats in a lot of ways for watching a match sometimes, but stats are a great help to understanding what you're seeing as well. And I mean, in general, I think numbers are the thing that you want to see, right? Like win loss percentage, etc., is like way better than like just seeing if a player looks good, right? Backhand goes to the forehand of FOKINA, forehand of MACHAC, forehand of FOKINA, back into MACHAC, back into FOKINA, cross court, big forehand, again big, inside out, drop shot. This one might work. MACHAC is there, but it's in the net. Great play from FOKINA. Gets that one. 6-6. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Let me know. Let me know your predictions. I'm going to go with Davidovich FOKINA 9-7. I'm going with FOKINA 9-7 in the tiebreaker. Let me know what you think. I don't know. I think it's going to be a chaotic tiebreaker. I just have the feeling. Yeah, I kind of had the feeling, but FOKINA's not making enough first serves in. What else? I don't know why there's no errors in winners stat here, but okay. 7 aces for MACHAC. It's impressive. That's good. Did not really expect that. Even watching the match. It's good serve from MACHAC on ace, but nearly. Out wide, 1-0. Let me know your predictions of the tiebreaker score. Whoever gets it closest, I will shout you out in the chat. I'm going with FOKINA 9-7. I have a feeling it's going to be a crazy breaker of some kind. Some drama, some craziness. Let's see. Serve very central from FOKINA. Backhand to MACHAC. That was like a nothing first serve. We're just starting off with a neutral rally. MACHAC doesn't take advantage, but that was not a good serve. It seemed like FOKINA rushed it almost. 1-1. Both players 6 points away from the set. We're drawing to the end of it all. This first set. 1-1. No break points in this set. But somebody is going to have a mini break in this tiebreaker or not. I mean, it's not, it doesn't have to happen, but then we will be here forever. Should not be ideal. Serve. Back into MACHAC, goes to the back into FOKINA, cross court, back into MACHAC. It's going to go out. 2-1 for the Spaniard. I'll definitely be trying to do streams for Indian Wells. So stay tuned for those as well. Glad to be back streaming. Haven't been able to do a whole lot of them, honestly, but I'm glad that I'm able to do this one. Serve is the let behind the back trick from FOKINA. Gets a few cheers from the crowd. Serve from MACHAC. Backhand. Ooh, just goes out from FOKINA. 2-2. 2-2. Both players very solid on their serve in the first set. I mean, I would definitely say MACHAC has been the better serve, no doubt. We'll see. MACHAC how to serve it out. It's in. But at the end of the day, MACHAC hits an overhead and puts it away. 3-2. No mini breaks as of yet. 5 for 5 for the server. Ooh, MACHAC once again with an almost ridiculous shot, but just missed it long. Great attacking times from FOKINA. Ridiculous backhand. If MACHAC had made that, that would have been ridiculous. But that was a hell of a backhand from FOKINA. When he's able to line up that backhand is really fantastic from FOKINA. That forehand has also been just a weapon in this tournament. Let's see if the mental game meets his game from the backcourt. And also serving performance today as well, I would say. Hasn't been pitch perfect, but it's been pretty good. 3 points apiece. This Golden State Warriors game must be crazy right now. 119 to 121. 56 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Steph's going to hit like a 3 and finish it. I'm not even watching right now, but. Oh! What a strike from MACHAC. Gets the first mini break right on the line from MACHAC. But that, if you're a FOKINA, that's one of those where you just gotta kind of let it go, I guess, because MACHAC, yeah, that was impressive. You just gotta say too good, right? Not even on the baseline, right in front. If you look up perfect forehand return in the dictionary, you're probably not going to find any results because I doubt that's in the dictionary. But that would be there if that's it. If that's in the dictionary, you'll see that shot right there. It's perfect. Shot of the match so far. No doubt. Serve here from Tomas MACHAC. Very central. Backhand of FOKINA. MACHAC steps in with the backhand. Right off the net. FOKINA. We're in a neutral rally. Forehand. That's in the net. FOKINA strikes right back. With that serve, I kind of had a feeling FOKINA was going to really push. And that push he did. 4-all. Great serve from MACHAC down the tee. Five to 4. All right, we're getting to the business end here. Serve out wide. That's in the net. 5-5. I said 9-7 FOKINA. Let's see. Serve out wide for an FOKINA's a shank. It stays in though. Backing down the line. FOKINA's at the net. Banana shot from MACHAC or some kind of a shot that he tries to just stay in down the line. FOKINA leaves it. And it goes out. 6-5 for Davidovich FOKINA. Oh, God. I had my heart in my mouth there. Set point for FOKINA. First set point of the match. MACHAC has been 2 points away twice. Actually, more than twice. He's been 2 points away, like, I don't know. I think 3 times. 3 or 4 times. I think three times. Because at 5-4, MACHAC was 2 points away at 30-all. And then a couple of deuces at 6-5. It's going to be out the return from FOKINA. So it is going to be an extended tiebreaker, 6-6. One set point down the drain. This could be very important because I don't know. I mean, FOKINA has such mental baggage from the last final he played. I'm sure missing out an opportunity with a set point is not going to help proceedings. If that is what happens, it's not like he had a great opportunity there, which will lessen the load, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. 6-6. FOKINA will be looking to do what MACHAC was able to do a few points ago. and smash a forehand return or just smash a return and take advantage of anything he gets. But MACHAC's been serving very well, so we'll see if that's even going to be possible. If that's going to be a viable option. Big serve, misses it down the tee. MACHAC. Short serve. FOKINA does get a big forehand strike, but we're at neutral. Kind of MACHAC a little bit in control, and FOKINA messes up the forehand. It's a set point for Tomas MACHAC now, 7-6. Can FOKINA hold his nerve? Can I hold mine? I don't know. This is nerve-wracking. That's tennis for you. That is tennis for you. 7-6. What do you guys think? Who's taking this one? Serve here from the Spaniard. First serve goes out. Serve FOKINA. Back into MACHAC. Back in FOKINA. It's out. FOKINA misses that backhand right behind the baseline. FOKINA clearly frustrated. Had a set point wasted. First set to Tomas MACHAC. We'll see how FOKINA bounces back. He's going to have to win 2 straight sets. That seems like a mighty tough thing. We'll see. Now 2 for 3 in tiebreakers in this tournament. I believe he's now won 3. He's lost 3 tie. Yeah. FOKINA's lost 3 tiebreakers in this tournament, 8-6. The good news for FOKINA is obviously the other 2 matches where that happened, he ended up winning the match and winning the next set. Pretty easily, actually. 6-3 and no, I'm wrong. Never mind. Forgot what I just said. I forgot because Matej Bellucci had match points in the tiebreaker. Actually, I was wrong. Actually, FOKINA is now is now 3-2 in tiebreakers in this tournament. He won an 8-6 tiebreaker versus Matej Bellucci, lost one to Tiafoe. But after he lost that, he won the next at 6-3. So we'll see if he's able to bounce back here. We'll see how FOKINA bounces back. Wow, the Golden State Warriors basketball game, currently 48 seconds left in the 4th quarter. It's pretty crazy. All right, we have a break currently between sets. I'll be right back. I'll take a break. I'll be back for the second set. Hello, back for this one, guys. Sorry, the second set. Forehand pass for Fokina. How are we doing? Second set. First set, as tight as it gets. Some good hand skills from MACHAC, but ultimately the point was over. Fokina was able to put the shot away. I still rate Fokina's chances in the second set, but even if he wins the second set, I'm just not sure if he's able to get it done in the third. But I don't know. It's definitely doable, but it's gonna be tough. And MACHAC seems to be only playing better and better, especially from the back of the court. Backhand cross, short. Fokina go. Oh, what a weird shot! Drop shot, backspin. MACHAC runs, can't get to it. Fokina with a great shot there. 40-15, great point from both. Fokina appreciating the effort from MACHAC as well, I think. Hell of a backhand backspinner drop shot from MACHAC. I thought for sure that was going out, but it was very tricky. There was a lot of ATP players that would not have been able to handle that drop shot. MACHAC has to give a smile too. Fokina did well to swat it in time and also to successfully swat it away, because if he waited more, that ball was going to be get away from him. Backhand down the line, backhand of Fokina, backhand goes long. 40-30. Serve from Davidovich Fokina. Goes to the forehand of MACHAC, back into Fokina, cross, goes to the backhand slice of MACHAC, back in Fokina, down the line, forehand of MACHAC, back in volley, put away. Good stuff from Fokina, 1-0, good start. That's a confident start, or at least it'll help him gain some confidence. Serve MACHAC is just too good. Great serving today from Tomas MACHAC. Seriously, impressive serving performance. I mean, that shot has been the MVP on the court today, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. 15 love for Tomas MACHAC. It's another ace. Perfect down the tee. MACHAC just rolling with it. 2 aces in a row. Is he going to go for 3? Looking for his first title. I didn't realize MACHAC hadn't won a title, to be honest. MACHAC a little bit distracted with Fokina returning behind the baseline, but Fokina trying some different stuff out with the returning tactics. Some people will say purposely trying to distract MACHAC, but for whatever reason, he is trying something new out, and he has to, because his return's not been working. So he has to try something now. Forehand cross. He made it, I think. Okay, so it's worked. 30-15. Trying to find a new returning rhythm. Fokina saying very active behind the baseline. Some servers would get upset at this, to be honest, but he has the right to do this. You just got to stay focused on your side of the court. I don't think he's trying to distract MACHAC, but he's definitely trying to get something new going here because he's had nothing on that return to serve pretty much. Basically at all. Right? 30 all here as the slice of MACHAC goes wide. $30. This could be a big moment. Or it is a big moment. I do like Fokina trying stuff out. Once again, though, it's got to help that he's got to feel like he must feel he has nothing to lose. Being match points down in the first round of this tournament. That's a great down the line serve. Just a perfect placement from MACHAC on that one. There's nothing to do about it. Unless you guess right and know exactly where it's going, it's just so tough to deal with. I guess Fokina has to guess, right? And that's kind of what he's been doing this game. Particularly in this game. Serve MACHAC. Goes to the back end of Fokina. Forehand to MACHAC. Cross court the forehand Fokina down the line. Back into MACHAC. Back to Fokina down the line. Great stuff. Gets the deuce. I think that's the first time that Fokina has deuce on MACHAC's serve. I'm pretty sure. So we'll see what happens here. Backhand very short. MACHAC puts it away with the backhand inside out. Both these players have a very strong backhand. I will say that. These are two players where you wouldn't say that their forehand is miles better than their backhand, or at least you wouldn't say to the regular standard that you would usually hold a forehand to a backhand. Like their backhands are pretty elite compared to what you usually expect from a backhand, and their forehands are not. So it's they're definitely a bit similar that way. Ridiculous return and a ridiculous half volley and then a volley from MACHAC. Ridiculous reactions and ridiculous he's able to control the ball in that way. But Fokina right on top of it gets to deuce. Let's go Davidovich Fokina. Come on, Fokina. Come on, Fokina. Get it going here. The second game of the second set. Good serving yet again from MACHAC. Is ridiculous. That he's been serving this well, but yeah, Fokina's different returning position. It's helped him out, and then just like a horrific miss from MACHAC. So first break point in the match for Fokina. Forehand chip goes to the forehand of MACHAC back in. Fokina is just not the right shot there. Deuce. Forehand of Fokina floats long. Advantage to Tomas MACHAC. Forehand chip. That's going to go out. 1-1 breakpoint save from MACHAC. Really the first look Fokina's had on MACHAC's serve, and does not go successfully. 1-1. Serve here from Davidovich Fokina. Goes to the back end of MACHAC, back into Fokina. Get to the back end of MACHAC. Forehand Fokina now. Back into MACHAC. Big shot from MACHAC. Gets to 15 all. Is MACHAC going to look to pounce here in this game right after that breakpoint chance for Fokina? It often happens that way. Get a chance, and then if you don't convert, your opponent can get the chance right back. Both players looking for the Acapulco title. One of the more well-known 500 events of the tour, and it is an ATP 500 title. Who will take it? Rafa Nadal is a player who's won this tournament 4 times. There have been big champions at this tournament. Fokina looking to be another Spaniard to win it, but MACHAC a set away. Forehand goes to the backhand. Fokina seems like an important point. Backhand inside out. What a ridiculous shot from Fokina. That's in the net. Ridiculous from Davidovich Fokina. Explosive running to that backhand. Just a ridiculous swing down the line. And could that be a turning point? Remember that backhand swing if this does not go MACHAC's way and if Fokina can find some spark here. Let's see. Forehand of MACHAC goes to the back end of Fokina down the line. The forehand of MACHAC, back end of Fokina. It's in the net. 30 all. Serve from Fokina. 30 all. Forehand cross court. It's a big shot from MACHAC. And yeah, an unforced error really from Fokina. Just goes big before the forehand hits it long. I mean, a great effort from Fokina to get to the final after that heartbreaker of a loss in the final last week. And in that semifinal, I still think that might be the best I've ever seen Fokina play. Probably is. At least outside of clay courts. But I don't know. This might be too tough an ask, especially after wasting a set point in the first set. MACHAC has been serving out of his brain today. Second serve, very light. MACHAC goes after the forehand. Backhand. Ooh, just clips the top of the net from MACHAC. Back to the drawing board. It's deuce. Forehand of Fokina goes to the forehand of MACHAC, which shanked out. Advantage to Fokina. Back and cross, goes to the back end of Fokina, back into Mahach down the line, goes to the forehand of Fokina with an injection of pace. Mahach goes for his own injection of pace, but it's too big of an ask. And it's 2-1 for Fokina. Early stages of the second set, but it's already been a couple long games. We'll see if Mahach can keep up the impressive stats on his serve. That's really the biggest factor of today's match so far. 69% first serves in. Wow. 30 for 31 first serve points won. That's the stat that Fokina needs to try to turn around, but Mahach's really been hitting his spots. That's not bad either, but pales comparison to that. That's also important. 100%, 1 for 1. 97%, 30 for 31. Those are the big numbers. And this is good for Fokina too. Like, it's pretty good, but same stat for the breakpoint save. First set went to a tiebreaker. Here we are. First serve in the net for Tomas Mahach. Second serve. Backhand of Mahach goes cross court to the backhand of Fokina. Backhand of Mahach. That's in the net. Love 15. Very few Mahach service games have begun with a lost point for Mahach. That's one of the big things to note, in my opinion, is that Mahach on each of these service games, he's just been off to the races, just locked in from jump. He's just his serving rhythm from the start to now has been just fantastic. Can Mahach keep that, and can Fokina try to change that? We'll see. 15 all. Losing just 1 point on first serve is insane. I mean, if you have 0% first serve percentage, it's not. But if you're serving as well as many first serves in as Mahach is, and your first serve percentage is 97%, you're going to be winning the match. Forehand chip goes to the back into Mahach, cross court, back into Fokina. Down the middle, yeah, Mahach too strong with the forehand. 30-15. Not too many exciting, like, dynamic rallies so far in this match. A lot of it's been big serves, plus ones. You know, we've had a few, but we had that crazy backspin drop shot from Mahach, and then Fokina flicking away next shot. Yeah, Fokina just gives up on the point there after he makes the back in return, just because Mahach's been deadly on the serve plus one. If Fokina doesn't get the return past the service line, then Mahach is putting away the next ball. An ace from Mahach there too. How many aces Mahach have now? 2-2. 2-2. And that is the 10th ace for Tomas Mahach. Seems about right. Mahach, definitely the greatest player of all time who wears his shorts as ridiculously short as he does. 15 love. People made fun of McEnroe and Borg and all those players of the 80s, but then you look at Tomas Mahach, and it does just pales in comparison. Back into Fokina. Hits the tape, goes over. Back into Mahach, too good. 15 all. Back into Mahach, goes to the back end of Fokina. Forehand Fokina down the line. Mahach is there at the lob. Fokina leaves it. I knew it was going in. Why did Fokina leave that? Clearly, I mean, it was a crazy shot from Mahach, but it didn't have, like, the height on the ball. To me, it was clear it was going to be in. Obviously, I'm from a different vantage point, but I think Fokina knows better than me. I mean, I could have been wrong too, but that landed way in. That landed way in. It's probably a couple feet in front of the baseline, or a foot in front of the baseline. Sir Fokina now in trouble, down 15-30. Hey, how's it going, Jakey Davies? How are you doing? Much love to you, bro. Yeah, doing all good. This match's been, it's been pretty, how can we say? Both guys have been defending their serve well. Mahach has just been a monster behind his serve. Won like almost 100% of first serve points. Fokina with a massive forehand swing there. But how are you doing? Do you think Fokina can get this done, or is it Mahach's night? I still think Fokina's got something to say here, but I gotta say I definitely like Mahach at this point. Definitely liking Mahach at this point, but never know. I mean, Fokina's won a couple 3-setters in this tournament, right? Including against Tiafoe after losing a tight tiebreaker. That's a forehand out. Just gotta back Mahach in the mental side and the big pull a little bit more than Fokina, right? 30-40, another break point for Mahach. I say another. He hasn't had a whole lot of these. Fokina did well to ward him off a couple times, but let's see. Backhand. Stays in on the baseline. Backhand cross court. Fokina with the backhand to the backhand volley of Mahach. Fokina there with the forehand in the bottom of the net. This might be match over because Mahach has been an absolute monster behind his serve. This might be 2 sets for Mahach. It's looking like Tomas Mahach could win his first title. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough watch because Fokina puts himself in these positions to win titles, but just hasn't quite been able to do it, right? This is only his third final. I kind of thought this was his 5th final or something like that, but this is the 3rd final of his career. That's not that many. I mean, there are other players that have played more finals and lost. I mean, Julian Benneteau, for God's sake, played 10 finals and lost. Julian Benneteau never won an ATP title. 2 points away from beating Roger at Wimbledon and was a fantastic player. Never won a title. So certainly 0-3 is not something that new. But yeah, I mean, a player of Fokina's standards, you'd expect him to have a title. Only 25 years of age. I still expect him to get one. But I don't know. I mean, his first final was against Stefanos Tsitsipas in Monte Carlo. That was always going to be tough. But his last two have been against players that combined at the time of the final had only won one ATP title. So you would have to think that the last couple of finals were big chances for Fokina. Who knows if in the next final, he might play, I don't know, Jack Draper or, Demonor or somebody like that. Like it might only get tougher from here on out. He did have a set point in the first set, and he had match points against Kecmanovic. Have more trust in MACHAC. Yeah, I feel that. I'm probably harsher on ADF than other people are. I always feel ADF finds ways to lose quite a lot. No, I think it's valid. I've been saying that all match, right? I was at that match in person when Bento nearly beat Federer. Where are you really, Jake? I was watching that from first point to last on my TV when I was 11. But I was, that's awesome that you got to experience that. How was that? What's your favorite match that you've got to see at Wimbledon, Jake? But that match was crazy. Like, I think of 5 points, 5 times in that match, Federer was 2 points away from losing it. And he was obviously down 2 sets to love. Yeah, that was unreal. It was one of those memorable comebacks from 2 sets to love down for sure for Roger. Love 15. Yet again, Fokina with the rare first point in a MACHAC service game, but last time MACHAC was able to win that game. Well, it wasn't that simple, actually. Fokina got in there. We'll see. That's going to go out from MACHAC. Love 30. MACHAC's got to hold his nerve. Love 30. We got to remember that MACHAC has also got to be nervous trying to win his first ATP title. Something that every player dreams of, to win a tournament at this kind of a level, I would think. First serve in the net. He's had a high first serve percentage. He's been clutch. Second serve just stays in. Big shot down the middle. Fokina with a great attempt, but you just got to go to the next point because that was a great second serve and risky but very good down the middle shot coming with a lot of pace, an injection of pace off that backhand. Such a solid backhand from MACHAC. I trust the MACHAC backhand maybe more than I do the forehand. I might even say the same thing about Fokina, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I trust it more, but it's a very good shot. Me and my sister were also there in person when Rasul beat Rafa too. Just unreal serving that he peeked out of his mind. Yeah, that's crazy. Rasul definitely peeked out of his mind. That's why that became such a monumental, upset in just like the stratosphere of everything. Zeitgeist of the tennis world. That backhand goes out. That was an opportunity for Fokina. 30 all now. Yeah, I don't know, but Nadal got to 5 consecutive Wimbledon finals outside of 2009, but he didn't play in 2009, and then lost in the first round, second round to Rasul. So yeah, Rasul at his best was definitely very good. Best match I've seen live was probably Murray versus Nadal. Rome, underrated. I believe Murray was setting a break up, close going double break, but still lost. Great contest. I mean, obviously didn't see it live, but seeing highlights of it, underrated match. Fully there with you. I didn't remember that Murray was quite that far up, but I did remember that he went a setup. And I remember that, Murray was quite close to beating Rafa. He beat Rafa on clay in Madrid 2015, 2016. He's been Nadal a couple times on clay. It's interesting when you look at the list of players that have beaten Nadal on clay the most amount of times, because you have like these great players like Murray, Federer, et cetera, that have beaten him like twice. And then you have Fabio Fognini, who's beat him 4 times on clay. It's quite astounding, really. Backhand down the line. Fokina just falls apart there. Does not need to go for that much. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, what you're saying, Jake, about finding ways to lose is the story of this last couple of finals for Fokina. Unfortunately, you don't win a tennis tournament or a final Unfortunately, by going for that kind of a backhand in one of the more important points of the set. So here we are, 4-2. MACHAC 2 games away from the win. FOKINA needs to get some magic going here if he wants this to be a result other than Tomas MACHAC the check with the W. If he wants to get the win, if he wants to get the dub, he's gotta change something up, particularly on the return of serve. Backhand down the middle, forehand to FOKINA, cross, forehand to MACHAC. Oh, just missed it down the line. It was almost won the shot to the tournament. It's so close, you almost want to give him the point, but hell of an attempt from MACHAC. Good to see you on the stream again, man. Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a while. I'm happy to get the stream, get to stream again. I'm a huge Timbers fan, so watching that while I've got the stream on. Hey, nice, awesome. Yeah, I was. Yeah, that's cool. I was watching the Golden State Warriors game, and just I'm a fan of the Golden State Warriors, and particularly Steph. And I don't know, I wasn't a fan of what the team was doing outside of Curry, but or even the coach. Like, I don't know, or the refs. Just, I don't know. Everything went wrong for the Warriors outside of Curry, but I wasn't watching all of it. I started streaming this, but yeah. But yeah, I've got other sports stuff going on as well that I've been following. Forehand down the line from FOKINA, that goes out for 30-15. But yeah, I've been busy. It's good I've gone to stream again. At school, work, a lot of other stuff kind of get in the way of streaming, but I'm got spring break this week, this next 7 days. Hopefully get to stream a lot, Indian Wells, etc. So yeah, kind of back at it. Serve is a let from FOKINA. Second serve. Serve here, FOKINA. Backhand cross goes to the backhand of FOKINA. Backhand of MACHAC, very good. 30 all. So MACHAC just stays in from Davidovich FOKINA. Backhand down the middle goes to the forehand FOKINA cross court. MACHAC is getting more and more balls back like a ball machine, and FOKINA implodes. We got a consistent ball machine versus a ball machine that just kind of wants to misfire and just go for it, even when he doesn't really have the right shot. And the regular, consistent ball machine wins out. Tomas MACHAC a little bit more consistent, a little bit smarter, a little bit more steady during the big points. 30-40 break point for Tomas MACHAC. Don't forget to subscribe, by the way, to Quality Shot Tennis if you have not already. And please don't forget to like the video as well. Be appreciated. Backhand cross. Backhand to backhand rally. That's a backhand wild. And it looks like Tomas MACHAC is going to get it, his hands on his first ATP title. I have a feeling that's not going to be his last either, but we'll see how his career unfolds. Two talented young players here in MACHAC and in FOKINA. And two young players. I mean, MACHAC's like 24, FOKINA like 25, I'd like to say. So what's your general opinion on MACHAC's ceiling? Damien over on Talking Tennis rates him highly. Yeah, I mean, it's high. I chose MACHAC to beat Novak at Australia before Novak proved me wrong and beat Alcaraz and showed everybody that he's the boss in Australia when he's or whether he's healthy or not, apparently. which I guess we've seen before. But yeah, I mean, I like MACHAC a lot. I think his ceiling is ridiculous. His peak level is ridiculous. What his ceiling is going to be is a bit of a mystery to me. I don't know what's going to be the best result of his career. I reckon that he's going to pick up at least 2 or 3 titles, and I reckon that he's going to maybe get to like the final of a Masters 1000, maybe even win a Masters 1000. We'll see how he does in the slams. You know, if he can get to the semifinal of a slam, that'd be incredible result for him, or even quarterfinal would be good. But I think, yeah, I think he could get to the final of a Masters. And in terms of his peak level, yeah, I mean, I very high on Tomas MACHAC as well. Definitely more high on him than I am with most players. Very, very high on Tomas MACHAC as well. I think he's a very athletic, talented player. He could be he's getting up to a career high ranking. He could be inside the top 20, I think, if he wins this. He'd be tied in points with Arthur Feast. I don't know who would be higher in the rankings, honestly. I guess I can check on the or no, I really can't check that. I don't know. I guess we'll see. MACHAC serving for the match. And that serve's been a nightmare for FOKINA today. That's a forehand in the net. 3 points from this. This being dead and gone for FOKINA. I don't know. I hope FOKINA picks up a title. I hope FOKINA picks up a title in his next 1 or 2 finals. Assuming he gets to more finals. Hopefully he gets to some on clay. Maybe this season. It's a big serve down the tee. Another ace. Another ace. Just what the doctor ordered for MACHAC. Just another ace. Easy as they come. He's been serving his butt off, MACHAC. 2 points away. Yeah, I don't know. I just that final in Delray Beach, it would be a nightmare for FOKINA never to pick up a title. Like that would be the worst example of never not picking up a title I've ever seen after that kind of a loss. Up there with Botic in Munich. I actually don't know which one's worse, to be honest. Maybe Botic's is worse, to be honest. But at least Botic was playing Holger like on clay when Holger, I think, won the title the year before. Pretty sure. So that kind of lightens the load. I mean, Kecmanovic is a great player, but it's not. He hasn't won a Masters or anything like Holger. 2 clay Masters finals. All right, 40 love here for MACHAC to pick up his first ATP title for serving the net. This match is all but over. Double fault. Yeah, it's not surprising. 40-15. Gotta be nervy trying to serve for your first ATP title. One big serve and it seals the deal. Can MACHAC get it? Hour and 37 minutes of play. Most of that was the first set by far. Serve down T, back into FOKINA, goes to the back into MACHAC, back into FOKINA in the net. Tomas MACHAC falls on the ground because he wins his first ATP title, and you see what it means to the Czech. Tomas MACHAC with the victory over FOKINA. FOKINA still not able to pick up an ATP title. Unfortunate for him, but a good effort in this tournament, honestly. And yeah, I mean, Tomas MACHAC deserves an ATP title. He is a hell of a player and a fun one to watch as well. And I hope FOKINA can pick one up for himself, but it is MACHAC who is so good with the serve today, and he did play a high level. He didn't really ever have to go into a second gear because he was never really tested on the serve at all. And in the second set, he only picked up his level, started hitting more winners. Smart play throughout, good on the big points, even taking some risks, and better on the return of serve as well. So yeah, good stuff. MACHAC impresses me. Hey, I was going phase on. Yeah, MACHAC is very good. Checkmate, absolutely. Very good from Tomas MACHAC. All right, that's it from me. Join into Indian Wells. Check out my new Tennis Era podcast. That'll be coming out soon about the different finals in Dubai and this one as well. Thank you for joining in, Jake and Sean and Gabriel and MJ, everybody who joined in. And yeah, I'll see you guys at the next one. Join in for the Indian Wells coverage coming soon.